Imagine a swashbuckling hero, famed across the land for his daring escapades and legendary bravado. A cat who laughed in the face of death, believing his 9 lives were an endless supply of adventure. But what happens when the legend runs out of lives, and real fear takes hold? Welcome back, cinematic explorers, to a deep dive into Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, a stunning animated epic that defies expectations. Today, we're dissecting every paw print of Puss's journey, from reckless abandon to profound self-discovery. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Make sure to hit that like button if you're ready to unravel the magic. Our story begins with Puss in Boots living life to the fullest, a true fearless hero enjoying the adoration of the crowd. He faces down a giant, boasting his legendary status with every move, reveling in the danger. His grand performance concludes with a literal mic drop and a confident farewell to the cheering town of Delmarch. However, this daring feat costs Puss his 8th life, sending him spiraling into an unexpected recovery at the village doctor's office. The doctor, a multi-talented man, delivers the shocking news: Puss has already perished 8 times. He recounts Puss's previous, often ridiculous, deaths, from gazpacho allergies to baking mishaps, confirming he is on his 9th and final life. The doctor's stern prescription is clear: Puss must retire from his adventurous life to a safe place. He suggests Mama Luna's home, a sanctuary for cats, as the ideal retirement spot for Puss to become a lap cat. Puss scoffs at the idea, declaring himself no lap cat and heading to a cantina to drown his sorrows in leche. At the cantina, Puss is approached by a mysterious, cloaked figure, initially seeming like an admirer seeking an autograph. Puss, ever the showman, confidently states that Puss in Boots laughs in the face of death, unaware of the true threat. The stranger reveals himself as a terrifying wolf, a bounty hunter whose speed and ferocity quickly overwhelm Puss. For the first time, Puss experiences true fear, dropping his sword and retreating in panic. Overwhelmed by his encounter with the wolf, Puss fakes his own death and buries his iconic outfit. He retreats to Mama Luna's house, adopting a new, anonymous identity as Pickles, a common house cat. Life at Mama Luna's is a far cry from his legendary past, filled with baths, mittens, and the indignity of a person potty. Here, Puss encounters Perito, a seemingly naive and optimistic therapy dog in training, disguised as a cat. Perito confides his secret: living under the porch, surviving on scraps, and desperate for connection. Puss, still reeling from his fear, wants to be left alone, but Perito's persistent optimism is hard to shake. The wolf soon tracks Puss to Mama Luna's, seeking his bounty with the help of Goldilocks and the 3 Bears crime family. Mama Luna's house is chaotic, but Puss manages to evade capture by hiding amongst the other cats. During the chaos, Puss overhears Goldilocks' plan to steal a map to the mythical wishing star from the notoriously villainous Big Jack Horner. Realizing the wishing star could restore his lost lives, Puss decides to reclaim his identity and pursue the wish. He digs up his old hat and boots, ready to become Puss in Boots once more, albeit without his trusty sword. Perito, believing Puss is a new friend, tries to join him, even offering a stick as a stick sword. Despite Puss's insistence that he walks alone, Perito's unwavering loyalty leads him to follow. The scene shifts to Big Jack Horner's fortress, a sprawling collection of stolen magical artifacts. Horner, a spoiled, grandiose man-child, finally gets his hands on the map to the wishing star, hoping to claim all magic for himself. He dismisses the nursery rhyme Little Jack Horner, asserting his new, much more villainous, identity. Puss and Kitty Softpaws, revealed to be independently attempting to steal the map, unexpectedly cross paths. Their reunion is tense, marked by past betrayals and accusations of abandonment from a previous heist in Santa Coloma. A chaotic battle ensues between Puss, Kitty, Goldilocks' family, and Big Jack Horner's henchmen. Kitty, with her quick thinking and stealth, manages to snatch the map, leaving everyone else scrambling. Puss, Kitty, and Perito make their escape in a cart, with Perito, surprisingly, at the reins. Perito charmingly declares himself Puss's best friend and therapy dog, much to Puss's annoyance. Puss and Kitty fight over possession of the map, their distrust palpable from past events. The map is briefly lost in the chaos, then revealed to be a magical, constantly shifting parchment. The map leads them to the dark forest, a mystical and dangerous place that adapts to those who enter it. Puss, Kitty, and Perito cautiously enter, immediately noticing the forest's vibrant, yet unsettling, beauty. The map shows personalized paths to the wishing star for each of them. Puss and Kitty's paths are riddled with horrors like the Valley of Incineration and Abyss of Eternal Loneliness. In stark contrast, Perito's path is delightful, featuring a pocket full of posies and river of relaxation. This disparity highlights Perito's pure heart and lack of hidden desires or past regrets. The journey is fraught with challenges, including attacks from Big Jack Horner's forces and Goldilocks' family. Goldilocks and the bears race ahead, also following their own unique path shown on the map. During a moment of respite, Puss asks Perito about his past, expecting a light-hearted tale. Perito recounts his origin. As a pup, he was abandoned by his littermates, tied in a sock with a rock, and thrown into a river. Despite this tragic beginning, Perito found a silver lining, keeping the sock as a sweater and remaining astonishingly optimistic. He declares he already has everything he could wish for, his sweater and 2 new friends, needing no magic. Another chase ensues, with Big Jack Horner using increasingly absurd magical artifacts from his bottomless bag. Horner's sentient cricket conscience tries, and fails, to guide him towards morality, highlighting Horner's irredeemable nature. Horner's ruthless pursuit and disregard for his henchmen demonstrate his singular, selfish goal of acquiring all magic. Puss attempts to teach Kitty his "trust me" eyes trick, but Kitty reveals her deep-seated cynicism. She explains her belief that trust only leads to betrayal, a philosophy shaped by a lifetime of being double-crossed. Puss, still struggling with his fear, admits to Kitty that his distinguished beard is actually an itchy, shameful disguise. Kitty, despite her tough exterior, helps Puss shave, restoring his familiar face and hinting at a rekindled bond. She gives him a new, gatito blade, replacing his stick, and a flashback teases their past conflict in Santa Coloma. The 3 are again intercepted, this time by Big Jack Horner, who captures Perito. Horner threatens Perito with a unicorn horn, but Puss and Kitty, now working together, use Perito as bait to retrieve the map. Puss confesses to Perito his fear and the reason for needing the wish, to get his lives back. He reveals that the Santa Coloma incident was not a heist, but his own wedding, where he abandoned Kitty at the altar due to fear. Puss expresses deep regret for hurting Kitty, wishing he could undo that day. Kitty overhears his confession and reveals her own secret: she didn't show up either, fearing she couldn't compete with Puss's legend. This vulnerable exchange deepens their connection, as Kitty notes Puss seems different now. Meanwhile, Big Jack Horner continues his ruthless quest for the wish, discarding his men and displaying his profound lack of empathy. His cricket conscience tries to reason with him, but Horner crushes him, solidifying his villainy. Puss, Kitty, and Perito form Team Friendship to infiltrate the wishing star's location. Puss suggests sharing the wish with Kitty, a significant shift from his previous solo mentality. Another skirmish with the bears and Big Jack Horner leads to the map being lost and found again. The map's final clue states, "What you seek may be right in front of you," leading them to a familiar cabin. The cabin is a magical illusion, conjured by the dark forest to tempt Goldilocks with her just right ideal. Goldilocks is forced to confront her deepest desire, a proper, human family to replace the bears. Puss enters a surreal void where he confronts his previous 8 lives, who mock his newfound fear and vulnerability. The wolf appears, revealing his true identity: he is death itself, and he has come to claim Puss's last life personally. Death clarifies his motive: Puss never valued his lives, so he intends to take the last one. Meanwhile, the bears argue about rescuing Perito, who remains remarkably optimistic about his friends. Perito's genuine desire for family touches Goldilocks, making her question her own wish. The final battle for the wishing star explodes, with all factions clashing in a spectacular display of magic and combat. Puss, inspired by Perito's contentment, realizes that one well-lived life with friends is more valuable than 9 lives spent in reckless pursuit of fame. He confronts death, no longer running, no longer fighting for more lives, but for the one he has. Death, seeing Puss's profound change and newfound respect for life, acknowledges his transformation and spares him, promising to meet again. Kitty, witnessing Puss's bravery, realizes her own wish for trust has been fulfilled in him. Goldilocks, choosing her adoptive family over the wish, embraces the bears as her just right. Big Jack Horner attempts to make his wish, but Perito, with the help of Goldilocks, causes his downfall via his bottomless bag. The bears, Goldilocks, Puss, Kitty, and Perito share a moment of peace, embracing their chosen families. Puss, Kitty, and Perito sail off on a new adventure, heading towards far, far away, signaling their intent to visit old friends. Puss in Boots, once defined by his legend, has evolved into a hero who truly understands the value of life, friendship, and love. What an incredible journey of self-discovery and growth for our favorite feline. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing movie content. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Puss's transformation and your favorite moment from The Last Wish. Until next time, keep exploring the magic of cinema.